Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I'm highly medicated today. If you can't tell by my voice, I have a sinus infection. And I'm on multiple drugs for it because I need to knock this out as I have a speaking engagement I need to repair my voice for, but I had to do this episode. And here I was like, okay, I have to do this episode now. My voice sounds like crap. Of course I'm going to do it anyway because, you know, I show up regardless. And then I was like, God, I hope the topic that I need to be, teaching on and talking on isn't super complex because I don't know if I can handle that right now. And I looked, and it's my Halloween episode, which is let me scare the stuck out of you. Get clear on what you need to be doing to achieve your dreams. I'm like, well, how perfect? Because I'm actually doing it in real life right now. And that's showing up regardless. So the main difference between people who have the success that you admire, respect, desire, one of the main differences is they show up regardless, and the they also includes me. I have a sinus infection. Would I prefer to be in bed with hot cocoa and Netflix all day? You're damn right I would. However, for the greater good, the bigger cause, all the things, I still have to show up. If I don't show up, now you don't have that consistency. But I want to say this, because the old me would show up to the point where it was self-abuse, right? Like grinding, working, hustling when you don't feel well, overgiving, doing way more than you should. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about showing up in some capacity and do the things that you need to do. Am I operating on 100% Tiff Carter capacity right now? Obviously not. No, I'm not. But I am still being of service. I'm still showing up. I'm still giving, which is part of the consistency. Is it at my, so to speak, top potential? No, it's not, but that's okay. You can't be at that peak every single day, and you can't wait for that peak to happen. So many people go, oh, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not inspired today. I'm not motivated. I'll write those posts tomorrow. I'll write the blogs tomorrow. I'll record the video tomorrow. I'll work on my course tomorrow. I'll do sales calls tomorrow. And you're waiting for one of those peak days where like your coffee's just right, you're a spaz, you're superwoman. And believe me, I love those days too, where you're like, I'm on top of the world. Like I could multitask, for hours and hours on end. I love those too, but you can't just wait for those days. If you're a normal human being, you may be lucky and have one of those a week. I tend to have maybe one of those every 10 days. So if I had to wait for every, to do all the things to just feel right and be at my peak, that would be a problem. I wouldn't have a business. The real key is showing up every single day, 24/7, meaning you are showing up in some capacity. That might look like Maybe you're not doing a long form video or you're going live because you're sick, but maybe you're doing a quick little video saying, I don't feel well. And I just wanted, if you guys can send me good vibes and healing energy, that would be great. Maybe you just show up in that way. Maybe you write a post while you are laying in bed, sharing things that you can do when you're sick to help your mindset. Stuff that obviously is incorporated in your brand. For my health and wellness people, maybe there's certain products or supplements you use that can help you when you feel sick or low energy. So you still show up to some capacity and you make it on brand anyway. You don't let things take you down to where you just don't show up. That's not going to work. That's the main part. So you've got to also get it in your head and commit to showing up. You have to commit to yourself. I'm going to show up. I love analogies. We can use the gym as one as well. Imagine if you just waited until you felt like working out to work out, or you only worked out when you felt like it. Like my fiance, Mike, is always like, you love working out. And I was like, you don't get it. I don't love working out. I love how I feel after I'm done working out. There is rarely a day where I'm like, I am so excited to go to the gym and work out. Extremely rare. And it's mostly, I don't want to go, but I go anyway. I show up anyway because I want the desired after effect. I go for the after effect. Same thing in business, right? Do I really want to be recording this podcast on this day when my throat is on fire? Not really. But I want the after effect. I want all the people who are listening right now to get something out of this episode, to get a loving kick in the butt, get your ass in gear. I want all of the wonderful things that come out of me showing up. So I show up for my desired after effect. So that's a reframing in your brain that you have to do. Is a lot of the stuff we do, especially in business, is actually similar if you look at fitness. There's very few immediate gratifications in business and at the gym. At the gym, you at least get an endorphin high, right? In business, there's not much of an endorphin high. The only high I can compare it to is if you write a social media post and people comment and like on it. But that can also go sideways, because then if no one likes it, you can go down a spiral in that way. So we don't get this immediate gratification. What you're doing all the things for in building your business and brand and your dreams for, you are doing it for the after. You're doing it for that after effect, for financial freedom, for freedom of time, freedom of energy, freedom of being able to take a vacation when you want, work where you want to, leave a bad relationship, take your kids to Disney World, whatever it is. You're doing it for that. So you need to tell your mind, okay, I know you don't want to insert blank today, but we're going to do it anyway because we're doing it for the after, because we want that after effect. We are going for the gold. We are going for that financial freedom. We're going for building a family legacy. We are going for creating a beautiful multiple streams of passive income so that we're not stressed about how we're going to get money every month. And there's, I don't have to be in that hustle energy. So you have got to look at it in a different way in order to get a different result. I don't even look at it as like mind trickery. It is the truth. We are doing it for the after. I don't get any immediate gratification from recording a podcast by myself in my podcast studio when I have a sore throat. Maybe there's a tiny bit of gratification when I'm done and like I pat myself on the back, like, good job, Tiffany, you showed up anyway, which is also something I want you to do. I want you to acknowledge yourself for showing up anyway, even when you're tired, even when you're angry, even when you don't feel good, even if you don't feel like it. But don't go too far with it like I did right before, Tiffany 1.0 did, where I pushed and hustled and kept going out of fear-based energy, and I put myself next to near, having my own tombstone. I don't want you guys doing that. I want it to be out of, not out of fear energy or scarcity energy, but of achieving energy, of heartfelt desire energy, of service energy. Then you're not going to do self-abuse. And let me just use this as an example. I mean, it's just kind of funny how this is the episode I'm supposed to record today, and I'm sick. Like you're actually hearing from me in real time, not at my best, but I'm still showing up and being of service out of love and teaching you guys something. It just blows my mind. But here's what my day is going to look like today. Oh my God, I just got 5 PayPal notifications at once. That's exciting. Okay. Anyway, this is again for the after, right? That's why I do all this, is because here I don't feel well. Here I'm recording a podcast. While I'm recording this podcast, I just made $600 in PayPal notifications in the last minute. That's pretty damn good. I want that for all of you so much that's why I show up. But let me take you through what my day looked like before I started recording this episode and what it's going to look like after, so you can see how I balance showing up and self-care. So I did not go to cycle this morning. Normally, and I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Normally on Tuesdays, I go to cycling. I knew if I went to cycling class, even though I might feel better temporarily, my body needs the energy to heal. So I didn't go. That's honoring myself. Tiffany 1.0 wouldn't have done that because, as many of you know, I had an exercise addiction. So I didn't do that. I honored myself. And my whole goal this morning was to feel better and to elevate my energy, because I knew I had a podcast interview and I have sales calls. So I knew I needed to do whatever I could do to elevate my energy, because you can't fake energy. And it's not fair to show up on a podcast interview or sales calls when you have a low energy, and also it won't work. No one will listen to the episode and no one will buy from you out of that energy. So that was my whole goal. I interviewed someone at noon. That went really well. And then I have a little break between that interview and all my sales calls. So I was like, okay, I'm going to jump on and record a podcast, because that podcast interview was really high vibe. And I'm going to ride off that high, because, when you don't feel well, at some point you're going to crash. But I'm sitting down. I have tea in front of me. I have cough drops, water, tissues, all the things. And then I have 3 sales calls. And after I'm done with those sales calls, I'm going to go lie down. So that's my day. It's not like I woke up at 8, I've been grinding it out or anything like that. Technically, I've only worked an hour and a half today. So I'm showing up anyway. I just wanted you guys to get a picture of what that looks like. So take this today and ask yourself this question. How can I show up anyway today? How can I show up anyway today? And then remind yourself you're doing it for your desired after effect. How can I show up anyway today? Angry, sad, tired, sick, annoyed, busy, whatever it is. How can I show up for my dream and myself today? If you guys love this episode and you love the show, I have a goal of reaching 200 5-star written iTunes podcast reviews by Thanksgiving. If you want to show gratitude and thanks to me, to my producer, to my coordinator, and to the actual show itself and all of the value that I pour into you guys twice a week, I would really appreciate you leaving a written 5-star iTunes review. No, you don't have to have an Apple or an iPhone in order to do that. The easiest way, if you don't know how to leave one, is to Google it, truly, and it'll give you step-by-step how to leave a written iTunes podcast review. That's the easiest way. It won't take you more than a minute and a half, and I would like to think that I'm worth a minute and a half to you guys. So even if you feel sorry for me because I'm sick and I have a sore throat, leave me a podcast review. All right. Love you guys. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.